Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? You are at the Dinner Theatre. Welcome once again, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Tonight we find ourselves, if we imagine ourselves floating over the wonderful peninsula of Zoster City, we see the skyline, we see the city spread out before us like a sparkling myriad of stars, the lights, the sirens, the many faceted things. And then we zoom our perception downwards, 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 downwards to the pier, down to the jetty, where a very soggy and very cranky Alice Bratos crawls from the bay. The Vauldery having been completed at the time bandits having been dispersed, she has come back to her vehicle, whereupon she will attempt to find some dry clothing change right then and there, because she gives none of the fucks of who sees her in any case. There is a large amount, a wad as it were, of scar tissue that's encompassing her entire right side of the face, where a bottle, a large glass beer bottle, has been shoved off and nearly scalped her down to the bone. Now, Alice's particular weakness is one that does not allow her to heal back to skin, but rather to scar tissue. So her face is a bit of a mess at this point, at least until she can fix it. Regardless, she gets changed in some dry clothes, lights a cigarette, and then drives off. She drives off and finds a little canine-friendly pub, which she has recently found out about and now frequents, and orders a Bloody Mary. For game terms, we are in Jacob Burns's little establishment, and there she'll just sit on the bar, leaning her elbows on the bar, just cradling this drink. She'll ask for a Bloody Mary, but upon asking for extra red, she'll receive what looks to be a wine glass, which is obviously not a Bloody Mary. But you get where I'm going. And here we begin.
While Alice sits there and drinks, she probably doesn't notice the person that she came to sit next to at the bar. The woman sitting beside her with long blonde hair. At this point, stunningly beautiful. She sits and she holds a very similar drink and sips at it. And when she hears the Bloody Mary extra red, she'll quirk a brow and just turn her head slightly on an axis and turn those baby blues right towards Alice, just to behold her for a moment.
Alice has just got a glass halfway to her lip and just sort of flicks her eyes over. What are you looking at?
Not exactly sure. No, I've seen you around here. And she'll take another sip.
Oh, I can't say that I've ever seen you around here. For the record, Alice looks tired. Not only does she look tired, she's slumped. She certainly looks like a canine who has really taken a beating beyond the massive wad of scar tissue that is just almost shaved half of her head.
Well, I haven't
Effective
been
appearance 1.
haven't been here for very long. You look, however, if you don't mind the term, you look like death. Grim death at that.
Alice grins, a toothy grin, purposefully popping her fangs and goes, if only. If only. And turn her attention back to her glass. Death was denied me. I should have been something greater. Now look at me.
You look haggard for someone who's... She's just going to very slowly reach out. And she doesn't seem to ask for any permission. She doesn't have any trepidation about it. She just places 2 fingers on Alice's wrist if she's able.
No, her hand's just straight down on the bar with her knuckles up, so you'd have to curl on under.
Hmm.
But yeah, go ahead.
And she'll do
Alice
that,
doesn't flinch or move.
and she'll just kind of continue to keep one of those eyes on Alice for a moment. Hmm. For someone who understands death more than the average Joe, you look terrible.
Comes with being new, doesn't it?
Well, how long or how new are you? Have you just crawled your way out of a unmarked grave?
Oh, my grave was marked. My grave was marked many, many moons ago, but I didn't crawl out of that one. Didn't. Didn't walk out my own front door. It's just a rental. Walked out my own front door, I'd be a powerhouse. Don't know what the fuck I am now.
Well, I'd say you're someone who's going to draw a lot of attention to themselves. And with that,
What,
she's
this?
actually lifting up her hand and just running the back of her knuckles over the scar tissue.
Oh, at that. Nah. Alice is actually going to grab that hand and just slam it straight back on the counter. Nobody touches her head without her say so. She's already had enough dramas tonight with James and a fucking beer bottle. Wrist is one thing, head is quite another, and I'm going to make a dex brawl for that.
Ooh, okay.
And I've probably inherited the Murdoch weakness of the ones, and I have one. Okay, so she bats your hand away. Like, get off me.
Well, let's have a bit of fun. Let's just see if she can't make herself look a little bit more graceful, having her hand swatted away. Apparently, I can't do anything either tonight. So it kind of looks like a very clumsy slap fight for a second.
Yeah, it pretty much looks like this.
She'll hold a hand up. Okay, all right, fair enough. Bit twitchy.
Alice will just slide the drink across from her and just put her head in her hands like, oh god, didn't think it would hurt this much. Just under her breath.
Have you had anybody attempt to fix that, or do you know how to fix it yourself?
I've had a bit of a play with changing pigmentation. I'll work on it.
You know, if you wanted, if you didn't mind.
Don't touch me.
Oh, okay, fine. I can fix it all, make it all better. With just a slight touch of the hand, just a bit of strategic placement of hair follicles, and we can get rid of that scar tissue. But if you're not interested, you're not interested. I won't waste my time.
Who in the shit are you?
Me? Oh,
No, your mother. Who are you?
honesty, I can't even think back far enough anymore to remember what my mother looked like.
I was being an idiot. Who the fuck are
Um,
you?
hmm. The name's Aveline. What's yours?
Alice.
Well, Alice, you're either very fond of your current look, or you haven't mastered the art of using the gifts given to us to be able to mend up that damage.
Maybe I like my scars. Maybe it reminds me of who the fuck I am.
And maybe it
I
also
thought I'd...
makes you a good target for anybody who has it out for our kind.
Are you saying I'm a liability? Bitch, please. You almost sound like you're worried about me. Don't know me from a bar of soap. It's a
Worried
touching.
about you? No, no. But I am worried about sitting next to you when you are such a potential target. I mean, let's face it, collateral damage seems to go around quite a bit in this city. Have you been down to the pit recently?
Plenty of other seats here.
And yet you chose to come sit right next to me. I was here first.
Alice
She's
gives
gonna
you a look.
turn, and there's a very sly grin coming up on her face as she looks over at Alice at that point.
I have to do a self-control roll right now. Because humanity too. Okay, Alice is gonna be. That wasn't a frenzy roll, by the way, but Alice is gonna be stupid and actually flare her blue necromancy eyes power thing. Not actually doing anything necromancy wise, but just activating the power so that she has glowing blue fuck off eyes. Which for game mechanics I think we've said gives her +1 to intimidation if ever she wants to use it. But she'll just flare those her own baby blues at Eveline. And just not say anything.
Hmm. Well, let's make ourselves a courage roll, I guess. If they're so
Well,
intimidating.
oh, would you like me to roll charisma intimidation?
Not necessarily. It depends on what you're wanting to do, because there's two ways that Eveline's going to go on this. She's either going to see it as a threat, or she's going to become very interested in that eye.
I'll let you decide on that one.
Alright. She's going to stare at Alice for a moment, and at that point, Alice can see that there's something definitely going on in her head. It seems that she's too calm to necessarily be thinking about striking her or reacting in a aggressive manner, but she's sort of looking at the eye, and you can see that her fingers are slightly wrapping against her wrist as she looks like she just wants to reach out and inspect that eye.
Alice just sort of flicks her eye down towards the hand, knowing that maneuver of I want to touch, looks down at it and then looks back up and just slowly shakes her head. Maybe down for sorts, but you'd be tearing this place apart before you get a look in at that one.
There's part of me that's somewhat intrigued to just see how that road would go, but at the same time, this isn't my establishment, and, well, I suppose I'm in somebody else's domain, so to speak, and therefore I should adhere to their rules, or at least not tear their shit up.
How polite.
Polite? Maybe. Smart would be a better word. You don't need to go around making enemies for fruitless endeavors. To get what I want out of you, I would have to confiscate that eye. And I don't think you're quite ready to part ways with it.
I do wonder though. And Alice leans purposefully close and just tilts her head so that that eye is very close to you. I do wonder whether it would grow back. It's not mine, you know. Had it put in.
How interesting. And she'll lean her head to one side and inspect the eye up close. And she'll kind of chew on her lip as she's just intrigued and just staring it over, wondering what makes it glow so.
Between the two of us, know exactly where it came from, so make it up. And Alice will turn the glow off. And then just lean back. Glad to be back, though. I hate road trips.
Road trips, hmm? Where
Yeah.
did you go? What was your little adventure?
Oh, my little adventure was halfway to New York before I got called back by pack priest, doctors, whoever this shit it is, the dude pulling the strings. Suppose I should be happy. Real people now, not just some shovelhead. At least to them.
Hmm. So you've
But,
become more than property.
so I'm told. And Alice just sort of grabs onto her drink again, slugs it down. It's obvious that she's intending to get very, very drunk, and this is alcoholic blood. And she'll just slam another one down, put it down. Tell you what's freaking bullshit though. As soon as I leave the city, just can't keep myself awake. Don't know why.
Hmm.
I think it's because I'm not near James.
Hmm. Boyfriend?
Nah,
Hmm. Not near James. Tell
James,
me,
James is James is the one stabbed me in the face. It's a sign of love, I'm sure. Last boyfriend did that. We were together for about 103. It's great.
so tired all the time. Interesting. Do you bed down for the day?
I can't stay awake.
So you just lay down, you sleep, as we all do, and then you wake up tired.
It's because I'm new, isn't it? It's the one thing they don't tell you. It's like when you buy Avon products. You know, they're really nice and cushy when you start buying them and everything's great and hunky-dory. But what they don't tell you is that there's going to be a fucking Avon lady at your door every fucking day saying, buy this, buy this. And before you know it, you've spent 500 fucking dollars.
Evelyn
It's
is
like the
just gonna
one thing
reach
they don't tell
out
you.
and put a finger to her lips just to try and get her to. Do you know who your
Yeah, but go on. I won't even bother with a frenzy roll because otherwise Alice would have just bitten your finger off.
Do you happen to know who your sire is, child?
I got embraced by one of these. She'll
Oh,
just swallow her glass.
do you happen to know who was in the Foldery? What clans?
I have an inkling. There's one dude's claimed me looks like an alligator. And I can do his shit. I mean, look, and Alice will roll her sleeve up and there's what looks to be a badly drawn dagger or bladed implement just on her forearm. It's like she's tried to change the pigmentation to make it look like a tattoo, but it's really bad and it's just turned into like Dalmatian speckles. Look! I tried, but I can't get rid of it now, so I'm not sure. Maybe he did it when I was asleep and made me think that I did it. Maybe James made me think that I did it because he's got mind powers. He can make you think what you want, what he wants. But I can do that to people too. So I can do what James does, and unless Murdoch and James teamed up against me, I can do what Murdoch does, and I don't know about Kirsten. She seems to have really good reflexes, but I've always had that. And that hasn't gotten any better. So I don't know.
Evelyn just kind of taps her chin a few times. So, actually, I'm going to make a intelligence medicine roll and see if I can recognize that as flesh crafting. First
Hmm.
and foremost. Let's do this all on the open up.
It's gonna be like stupidly low difficulty because it obviously looks. Unless by some miracle somebody has a badly drawn dagger as a birthmark on their forearm.
Okay.
So roll it if you like.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Unless you botch, you've got it.
Yeah. She'll just reach out and place the thumb against the dagger markings and just look it over. You have the power of the dragon, I see.
Power of my ass. I don't know. I don't know. You know, Louis was gonna embrace me. Did you ever met Louis? Louis is awesome.
I've met Louis once.
It's Louis, not Louis. Louis. It's
Louis.
French. Thank you, or at least Cajun, or whatever. Regardless, I should've just let him. Alice is getting way pissed on intoxicated booze, of course, as you may have guessed. Should've just let him, at least I would've known what I was. Rather than just packing it into people.
Oh, I have an idea of what you are, dear.
Fucked up.
Hmm. Well, we all are our own shades of that. That's no doubt in my mind. But you in particular, I do think you hail from the same lineage as me in a way.
Alice has just rolled her sleeve up. She's barely listening. She just looks like she's just zoned out. Derangement coming in, and she's just playing with the skin on her forearm. Maybe. I mean, it's all just pigmentation, isn't it? It's all melanin. But that's on the chemical level. I don't even know how I did this. If I did this, I don't think that I did this.
Let's see, I'm gonna spend a point of blood, and I believe it's dexterity medicine. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's dexterity
What are you doing?
medicine. She's going to fleshcraft to sink her fingers into the actual flesh on Alice's arm. Almost said Alex. There.
That
I'm
in the
stuck in the
open,
past.
in
No,
the
the two of them are
open
sitting
in
there.
a bar.
The two
Okay,
of
fair
them are
enough.
sitting there, somewhat obscured, I'm guessing, and
We're sitting
canine
at a
friendly.
bar. Okay, not friendly. Fair enough. We'll just clear the patronage out. Who gives a shit? We're in Sabat Town. Roll
Alright.
it! Arr!
Let's see. For this kind of transformation, I do believe it is. Yeah, about a difficulty 5. So we'll say it's difficulty 6 because she's not trying to actually do a quick yank and tuck. Sound
Sounds
good?
good. Sound
Alright.
good.
All the fucking ones! So Alice can feel something start, as if the flesh is starting to react, and then it quickly fades as Evelyn just frowns and scrunches her nose. Hmm.
Alice, I don't know, unbeknownst to Evelyn, Alice has actually been flesh crafted about 3 times. So I'm going to do a dex brawl at that and see how I go. Yeah, I think I got that. Alice will actually, like, the hand comes down and she'll start feeling the burning in her muscles and in her skin, and as Evelyn tries to just clear it away, almost like like the wiper of an etch a sketch, just wipe it all down into normal skin color. About halfway, Alice just pulls her arm back, goes for a just a shove, and just shoves Evelyn straight in the chest. Get off! Ow!
My, you are fidgety.
Ow!
So, I'll take it.
And I might take this opportunity while Alice is actually rubbing her own forearm, going ow, and just rubbing at the pain. Might do my own dex medicine roll just to see whether I can instinctively make the pain and the pigmentation go away. What
Oh,
do you reckon?
I say that's not too bad.
Alice is just rubbing at her forearm, going, ow, that fucking never gets any better. And then as she takes her hand away, this looks and the pigmentation is back to normal. It's like what she wanted all along, and goes, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then quickly puts her sleeve back over it. Evelyn will have seen though.
Huh. I'd say that safely declares it. You are definitely one of mine. Or we share a certain bond.
Share bond.
In a manner of speaking, you're of my clan. If you've had no one to teach you this ability straight off the bat, and you've gotten it from just being embraced, I would say that the person's blood that you share belongs to clan of the Zamisi.
Oh god, not Murdoch, he's such an asshole. He's intelligent, but he's a fucking asshole. He's the cleverest out of all of them, and oh god, it's like watching Game of Thrones and realizing that Tyrion's your dad. It's like, yay, that's awesome, he knows what he's on about, but he's also a fucking imp. Tywin, whatever his name is. Tyrion. Do you watch Game of Thrones? It's brilliant. No, I can't be Murdoch's. Fuck off.
How much has he told you about what you are, or told you about the clan in general?
I fucking know, he's a fucking alligator.
Fair enough. Well then,
Alligator today wasn't an alligator yesterday. His skin is creepy. His coat is made out of his skin, which is also creepy, which is why his skin is creepy, is because it's also his fucking clothing. So he's walking around naked for all time. Now he's a fucking alligator.
wait a
Another
minute.
drink.
She'll hold up
Thank
her
you.
hand to order another one for herself. Could you explain that part about the clothing again?
I went in there at one time and I don't even remember what was wrong with me. I think I got shot in the guts and I couldn't heal it. No, it was my foot. It was my foot. I got shot in the foot and I was missing. What are those bones called? Because in your hand they're called the metacarpals, but I don't know what they're called in your foot. It's like you've got the wrist bone here, and then you've got your phalanges, and then you've got your metacarpals between. But what are they called in your foot? Those ones. I didn't have any more of those, so by default I didn't have any more phalanges or toes, and I couldn't heal it at the time because I wasn't one of you. And so I got dragged over to Murdoch. Well, dragged. I heard about him. I heard about his little do. So paid the man, fixed my foot. Noticed his clothes. Noticed his gloves. Noticed his coat. No breeze. Not touching the ground. Long enough to touch the ground. Acting in the breeze. Doesn't take a fucking genius. That clothes is part of him. He's part of his clothes.
Now that is something I've never thought of. Interesting, Trick. Well, if he's told you nothing, then I suppose that you don't know why you're feeling so tired. Do you?
It's because I'm fresh. That's all I can think of.
No. No, 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 no. Not at all. Dear thing, you know that you need, as a Zamisi, you have to sleep in at least 2 handfuls of the earth that you were perhaps embraced in or where you were born, depending on what means more to you at this point.
Fucking
Otherwise,
shitty me.
you deteriorate. No, no. Every so often, folklore has it right.
Sound like fucking Dracula now. Must sleep in his native soil to regather his strength.
Well, our bloodline does come from that area,
Oh,
originally.
bullshit.
I've been told. Take it for what you will. All I can say is, what do you have to lose at this point? You could have another crappy night of sleep and wake up with a bit of dirt on your clothes. Unless, of course, you sleep naked, in which case it's just a simple case of a shower.
Alice just sort of thinks and blinks just off a tiny bit. So you have to sleep in the dirt. What about proximity?
I've never left it up to chance. Plus, it's somewhat comforting to feel it around you.
I'm not using my lungs. What if I put it in there?
I suppose you could give it a chance.
I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this.
Give it a shot. Just try it on for size, see how it feels. And then, if you wake up and you don't feel refreshed, well then, continue to experiment.
Have you met James?
I have met Louis, and I have met Arthur. And also a ghoul. A ghoul without a dometer. And out of character, I think he's mentioned you before.
He would have done, but he would have mentioned Alice's Liz. If he's being an idiot, because I told him to use Alice, not Liz. And, oh, and if you're watching, don't use that name. If you do, I'll fucking kill you.
She'll lean close, though, because I do believe he said Owen did say Alice, unfortunately.
Excellent.
By the
That's a good
way,
thing.
yeah. Do you happen to know a young gentleman by the name of Owen?
Yeah, I know, Owen.
Hmm. Are you laying any claim to him as a ghoul?
Yeah. What's it to you, though?
Well, I met young Owen a few nights back, and he told me that he had no dometer, just walking around on his lonesome, and I said,
Oh, yes, that's what he thinks. That's what I like him to think.
ah, well, I told him if this Alice hadn't laid claim to you just yet, that he was unclaimed property in the city, and I simply said to him, until further notice, you're mine, and if this Alice character wants you, she can have you.
Watch me roll all the ones, because I'm going to be rolling my subterfuge manipulation for the next couple of lines. I hope that I haven't inherited the Murdoch strain of ones on this roll.
Ooh, boogie, boogie, boogie.
Ah! One. One. 1 out of 8 dice. Oh well. Whatever. Alice just sort of leans in and just puts her chin on her hand. Just looks straight into Evelyn's eyes, not making her own glow or anything stupid like that, and goes, yeah. I like to think Owen has enough brains to know he can't make it by himself. I also like Owen to think that... I like him to think that he's free. That car he drives is mine. The place he lives in is mine. You look it up. Out of character, it's all true. That money in his wallet, you think gives him that. He's useful. Useful to me. Doesn't change who pays him. Pays him in the good shit. And Alice will just caress her own jugular.
Fair enough. Well then, that is one worry off my back. Because I was getting into a few ideas of old times, at least as far as I was concerned, how my Dometer and eventual sire treated me. I thought it might be a time to enhance him. But if he's yours, and I won't infringe.
What's she gonna do, my baby? is you're not going to tell anyone that he's mine either, are you? Because if you know this relationship, having been on the flip side of it, you know how valuable it is. So let me make it valuable to you to not reveal it. He's off limits. Tell me what you want to make it so.
Hmm. I have some associates that are very interested in the vampiric condition. Would
You
you
want a
be
guinea
willing?
pig?
Pardon?
You want a guinea pig?
Just someone that has a high pain tolerance and isn't afraid of, well, uncomfortable situations.
What is it you hope to learn?
She's going to lean close towards Alice, almost to the point where anybody watching might considering that Alice was, or that Eveline was about ready to make out with Alice. And her eyes will go a bit wide, her brows will raise up, her pupils will dilate ever so slightly, and she'll extend her fangs slightly. Everything.
Alice just underneath where she's holding her hand to her lips thoughtfully, you can just see the corners of her mouth raise. You want to see the limit of the vampiric condition, do you? You want to see how far you can take it.
Yes. Not
I
just
want
for
to
my
see how
own.
far I can take it.
Then two flesh crafters working together to see just how far things can go.
I knew my limits once upon a time. Now it's time to challenge them. If that's your price, count me in.
Very well. Oh, could you at least not say anything to Owen? I would like him to just squirm a little bit before I tell him that everything's kosher and that he belongs to you.
I'm going to prep my dice for the next line because if it works, it's going to be hilarious. Yep, that'll do it. 2 successes. Alice will just take her finger for it's resting on her cheek, and at the mention of not a word to Owen, she'll just flick it across her mouth and seal her lips shut, and then just smile.
I'm gonna have to roll me some perception empathy there, and I don't think I'm gonna do well. You got what, 3 successes?
3 successes, but it's quite obvious because her lips are now gone. And like a windscreen wiper, she'll wipe back and put them back on.
Oh! I didn't realize that's what you did. Okay, cool. She's
And
just going
Alice
to
will wait.
smirk. She's going to smirk very, very widely. God, I'm still stuck on Alex. Okay, Eveline will smirk. I see. All right then.
You think you're the only one that likes to see that boy squirm? I got beef with him. He outlived me. The gall.
Oh, is dying and becoming what we are really something to frown about?
Yeah.
I suppose 2 different perspectives on that matter then. I thought there was no greater gift.
The limitations don't make it worth the rewards. But 2 different takes. I'm gonna try your cure for my particular malady. It works. I owe you. And I get to be your guinea pig. What do you fucking do? If it don't work, I'm gonna roll charisma or intimidation. Because this is the Murdoch legacy. Ooh, that's got it. I'm gonna leave that up. With glowing eyes. If not, then I'm gonna get Owen to find out where the fuck you sleep during the day. You're gonna wake up with cement shoes, burning to death town square. We savvy. You can resist with willpower or courage, one or the other.
I'd have to go with the willpower with that many frickin' successes.
Do it.
What did I put Evelyn's willpower? I forget. 2 successes.
I'd say that you're a bit scared of Owen at that point, or at least what he can do.
I am going to roll my handy-dandy manipulation and subterfuge. Jesus Christ, why can I not? Why can I not have the dice pools? Ooh.
Are you trying to be cool?
Just trying to be placid.
Mm-hmm. And can I counter roll on that one?
I don't see why you couldn't.
With empathy perception.
Go for it.
That's 2. Empathy perception. Perception's 3. Empathy is 2. And 2, but defender wins. So you're good.
So Evelyn appears to be completely, again, calm and placid, as she's been for most of this, with the exception of the everything remark. Very good poker face, apparently.
Very good. 10 points. Alright. Guess we have an understanding. Regardless.
And if you're finding it difficult to deal, and she's going to raise her hand up again to try and run her hands through the, what's left of the hair. If you're having trouble dealing with that, I could fix that for you.
This time Alice won't flinch away. She'll actually just curl her head into Evelyn's touch and go, fix it for me right now, drinks are on me. Can't make it as pretty as it once was, drinks are on you.
That's a challenge if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
And to shan't disappoint, I am going to roll that at a difficulty of 9. And if permitted, I will spend a willpower point, because this is important.
Do it, because you don't want to be paying for these drinks. They're fucking expensive.
Alright. We've already established this is canine clientele, so both hands are actually going to come up at this point to Alice's face.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, with the willpower point, it was enough. I'm going to spend... What's your current appearance at? 1?
1.
I'll spend 3 blood points. And she's just going to lean in very close to Alice, and she's going to press her forehead and sigh as she rests her cheek up against Alice's and just begins to meld her fingers into Alice's flesh, revitalizing the hair that's there.
Tiny sharp inhale, because it's never pleasant to be flesh crafted and for follicles to grow. Just a little hiss, and Alice actually bites in the inside of her lip, trying to keep steady and calm, but handles it. At least she's not frenzying on you like she did with Murdoch. But yeah, just bites the bottom of her lip, scent of blood, and then just rigid, all of her muscles rigid. And then, as the pain subsides, just shakes her head, opens her eyes, feels, Feels smooth. Nice.
Evelyn will flip up her smartphone and just click over the face-in-face to the front-facing cameras opposed to the rear side and just hand it over to Alice so she can behold herself.
Shall have a look. It's not shabby. Alright, drinks on me. And she'll slide the phone back over. Actually, before she slides it back over fully, she'll take it back. Have a look at where she's held it. Actually rub what looks to be like she's worried about her fingerprints on the phone. And just rub the sides of the phone, and then just with her gloved knuckles slide it back over.
Everyone's just going to chuckle at that.
It's fine. You can chuckle if you like. If you've had a Illuminate Trail of Prey cast down you, you'll know why.
Unfortunately, no, she hasn't, so she's just going to go, that's adorable. That's adorable.
I don't want to leave my stinking DNA all over your shit.
Oh. Yes, okay, very well. And she'll take the phone and slide it back into her pocket. Oh, then drinks are on you. And just out of curiosity, should I perhaps film when Owen and I meet up again?
If you like, give me great pleasure. Owen mentioned something about him having a new face. Is that courtesy of you?
Being somewhat new in the city, I thought it would be a good idea to throw out a few favors, just simply to make sure that I made a good impression.
He said that it was involuntary.
He made no real struggle to resist, so involuntary is a bit of a strong word on his part.
I see. I'll spank him later about that. Don't want him giving our kind a bad name, now do I?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Now, drinks and perhaps pleasant conversation.
Don't know how pleasant I'm gonna be. But do you like cars?
I enjoy riding in them, and I actually got to drive a Ferrari not too long ago, which was actually an interesting exercise, I must say.
Ferraris are a piece of shit. Got a 2014 Stingray sitting out the back. New edition, not quite as sleek as the rest. They've bulked up the back, but it has solved the fishtailing. You want some real speed? Wanna go for a drive?
Getting into cars with strange women. My mother warned me about this.
My
But
mother
let's
never
go.
got a chance. Died before she was able to ever speak to me.
There are some people out there, and she'll just kind of point at Alice very casually. There are some people out there would say that that is an advantage in life.
Some people would. Some people would call it an advantage to have strangled the bitch. Other people would say that she would have done well to strangle me. Either way, drive. There was just that hint of something serious for a moment.
Evelyn, for the most part, isn't too interested in that, but she'll remain pleasant enough that she'll simply finish off her drink and then stand up. As long as you're not asking me to drive, I think we'll be alright. I managed to get from point A to point B that one time.
Can you drive?
As I said, I was able to do it once when She'll lean close, place an arm around Alice. Our good Bishop Thane couldn't actually get it to go.
God. Okay. Okay. Fucking Arthur. Is he back in the city even?
I don't know, the last time I saw him, I was thoroughly planting my foot somewhere between his legs and colon.
Hilarious. See, if you want to get me video of anything, get me video of that.
I'm not going to tempt fate. I saw him move a great deal faster than I can, and it's something I haven't quite learned how to do to that level just yet.
Holy shit, really?
Not yet. Although, in a straight-up fight with no enhancements, I think I'd do well for myself.
I have to try this one, me.
She's gonna kind of raise a brow with a smirk. I do believe that the area out back behind this place is rather secluded.
Alice just shakes her head. It's like shaking the cobwebs from her brain. Start of the night fighting a fucking gangrel. Why not end the night fighting a fucking Tzim?
She'll look at her knuckles and crack them, and then she thinks for a moment about putting up the bone spurs, but then she thinks better of it. Just fists. No weapons. No discipline.
No disciplines? You fucking shitting me? I didn't get turned to be a pussy.
Oh, it's not so much about that. It's just... Well, I would hate to
What, you
see
afraid you're
you...
gonna hurt me?
Or that perhaps you might injure me.
Oh, dear dums. Alright, fine. No disciplines. Now that I have Alice's sheet up. The two of them shall finish their drinks. Alice will pay the bartender, quite handsomely tip him as well. And as he comes over, he has that sort of very wry look on his face, as in, I've just seen these two get up to fleshcrafty weirdness, and I'm not sure how to take this, but they're giving me money and paying for drinks, which Master will be pleased about, so I will take their money and then fuck off real quick. That's pretty much what's going on through his head. The man takes the money and the $100 tip. And Alice will, having finished her drink, and is now at full blood pool, by the way, just sort of cock her head to one side, grin at Evelyn, and then just extend an arm, as in a link arms and let's go.
Evelyn will finish off her drink and then lock arms with Alice.
And the two will go outside. Outside we have a not so much an alleyway, but the inside of a cornered building which is led to by an alleyway. So you've got the alleyway leading up to it, but then you have an open area which is reasonably cut off. The only light there is from the lights of the windows above. Considering the establishment, any noises that are heard will be completely and utterly not reported. There's the moon shining overhead as well, being as that we're at full moon, Volry time as it were. And the two just begin to circle each other as Alice lets her arm go, and she'll just begin walking around and circling.
Evelyn, for her part, will definitely take up the circle, and she'll actually pull the jacket off of her shoulders and just coming down to the black tank top and nothing more. And she'll circle, but Alice will notice that she takes on I'm going to say a very methodical stance when she does so.
At the taking off of the jacket, Alice will actually zip hers up. It's a nice snug fitting biker jacket. Just in case you're thinking of doing the whole Jet Li grab pull over the head shenanigans. Seen it done. Not cool.
And
And
I think we'll...
Alice will begin bouncing forward and back, just in a little fighty sense, very much a boxer's stance, nothing recognizable as a certain martial art.
Let's see. Eveline, for her part, will buff one into strength, and you want to roll initiative?
Let's roll initiative.
Here comes the one. Nope, a 2. Better than a 1.
Gotcha. Same.
I got a 9.
Uh, Christ, I forgot what initiative was. Dex Wits?
Dex, Dex, bleh, 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 bleh. Dex plus wits,
Yeah.
plus whatever your score was
So
there.
that is a 9.
All right. So I think what's your dex?
4.
Jesus Christ, we are completely evenly matched. All right, each of us
This
roll a
is going to be an
d10.
excellent fight. All
Yes.
right, let's go. This is brilliant.
All right,
This
each
is
of us
like
will roll
Jet
a
Li
d10.
and was it Jet Li
Jackie
and
Chan.
Bruce Lee just sort of do that whooshung, and you just catch the thing, and it's like 5 million times over. Actually, that, just for storytelling purposes, that's brilliant. Both go to strike, and as both go to strike, both block the other, and then strike again and block the other, and then after about 3 or 4 exchanges of strike, block, and each being so very closely matched, they'll take a step back and just sort of look at each other and go, okay, all right, time to play serious. And now we roll that other d10. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, I think you got me just by a hair.
Just by a hair. God, that would have been brilliant though if I rolled a 9 or a 10. That would have been awesome. Alice's fist from where we've gone block. So come back, feign forward, come back, and rather she clenches this fist, but rather than punching with this fist, takes the moment of distraction of just the fingers clenching to just slap forward, and all she does is just give you a light tap on the side of the face. No real damage to be done, but just as a little gotcha. It's almost like a game of paper scissors rock at this point.
Fair enough.
Unless you want to be a dick and do real damage, because you can be. Alice is just playing.
Evelyn will buff another point into Dex, bring her up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she doesn't take half measures. She's gonna. Oh, I hate this so much, but whatevs.
Alice, for her part, is buffing stamina.
Evelyn is going to literally split her dice pool and go for a called shot to the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2. Let's see. Jack's 5. So it's going to be 2 dice pools at 4. So here comes the first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that first one's a botch.
Nope. Let's just cancel it. Don't worry about a botch.
Alright,
Second one?
here's the second one. Ooh.
That's 3.
4 successes with the specialty. Dirty
True.
fighting.
Especially. So then, I will attempt to soak,
Alright.
but I'm not using fortitude because that would be cheating.
Alright, so that's strength. Is it 3 or 4? No, is it 3? Strength at 3, so 3 plus 3, so 6 damage.
And
So that's
that
2.
is 2.
Yeah.
Okay, 2. Considering I bumped stamina last time, I will do just a basic save without fortitude. And I save 2 quite easily. And Evelyn's strikes come forward, just 1, 2. And were they towards somebody who perhaps didn't know how to fight, those eyes would have been plucked out quite easily. But Alice is fond of her eyes, and so with 1 step and 2 steps, she'll just go 1 and 2, and back the way out of Evelyn's grasps. At which point she will take her leading foot, curl it back towards her chest, and with her entire weight balanced precariously on the other foot, kick out towards Evelyn's chest and just try to kick her backwards, which would be a dex sprawl.
Alright.
So 4 and 4 is 8. I love ones. Thank you, Murdoch. I hate you so much. 1 success.
Alright.
It will stagger you, but it won't actually do any damage, I'm gonna say. It'll just kick you off.
Alright. I'm going to split my action again. I'm going to go for a dex and athletics. Well, I guess it'd be a dex brawl either way. The first thing she's going to do is try and catch the foot. Like, even though it's hit her, she's going to try and grab a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be... And she's going to bump one more into strength. So... God damn, once. Alright. I guess while the leg is curling back, since she can't grab a hold of it, she's still going to try and punch right for the kneecap.
If you like, go for it.
Another cold shot, so it's going to be a difficult one. So 1 success. So... 1 damage. Jeez, that's
1.
Yeah.
Ah, well, correction, no damage.
Yep.
The
So
leg
you
curls
could-
back. Pretty much, what's happened is that Alice's leg is curled back, and almost in the lightning quickness of a praying mantis snapping at her prey, just catches Evelyn in the chest. Evelyn tries to grab onto the leg with one hand to try and pull Alice back just so she's in grappling distance. Failing that, the hand, the thumb, the fingers just ripping past the fabric of Alice's trousers. The other hand comes down into an attempted punch straight to the kneecap. It glances off. There's just a tiny bit of an impact, which will do more than leave a bruise. It's like bumping your knee, and Alice's knee just snaps back until she's just on the one leg again, with the one leg semi-raised, knee to the chest, martial arts pose, hands still in front of her, and she'll put her leg down and just hold that pose. At which point she'll just look at Evelyn, because she's a smart ass, she can't help but talk, and say, "Shall we just go get another drink?"
Evelyn thinks it over for a minute. I suppose this is going nowhere.
Alice isn't lowering her fist until Evelyn does, because she's seen the dirty fighting of the eyes shot.
Yeah, God, I can't let that one. Evelyn, she's gonna go for another. This time she's gonna go for just a straight up punch.
Mm-hmm.
Right for the kisser.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, Alice will bump strength this turn, but go ahead.
Alright. Oh, wait, that's one more. Didn't help. 1, 2.
No, that's still 2.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, well, 5. Jeez, the ones! Everyone's
Would you
gonna
like
look
to story-
perturbed at this point. Yeah.
Feel free to storytell that one out.
Evelyn can tell that Alice is skilled enough with her striking that that Alice can definitely lay a hurting on her just as easily as she could lay a hurting on Alice. And so for each movement, she always seems to be prepared to pull back at the last second, just in case she completely misses, just does terribly on the actual attempt at striking. When she comes forward, she goes and she knows she has the punch, but she notices the way that Alice is holding her hands makes it very easy for a counterpunch. And at that slight hesitation, her fist, when it goes forward and then instantly comes back to be prepared for another one, for another attack, her fist will come just shy enough that it doesn't actually do much more than just leaves a superficial red mark on Alice's face.
And I'm going to do a self-control. Just hold still. No, Alice doesn't hold still. Because that would have just been way too badass. Instead, Alice is going to take that fist as it comes past her face. She will hook it with one hand, curl it down, and then go for an elbow smash straight into the underside of the elbow joint. Dex brawl, shall we say?
Yeah, split action, yes.
Alright, shall we do 2 dex brawls then? So I have 8, I'll roll 4 and 4. First one's a success, cancels out by the 1, but I still have a 9. Second, also a success. Your elbow's broken. Badly.
Fair enough.
So
But
that hand comes up for a slap, it gets curled underneath, the palm is grabbed, the palm is then interlocked with the other elbow, and as Alice uses her body weight to push the elbow down, just snaps your elbow completely and utterly 90 degrees the wrong way. And then she will let you go and back off.
oh, for that moment that they're close, I think Evelyn would like to try for a eye gouge at that point.
Please, go for it. But won't you need to do a self-control not to frenzy on her? Actually, should I roll damage? That's the question. Should I roll damage?
Yeah, let's see some damage on that one. You got enough successes on that you can make it substantial.
So strength will carry over the 3 successes plus 1, hey? So I'm rolling 6 plus 1.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bashing. Still rounds down to 2.
Let's see what happens with the soak. Soak 2?
Okay, that elbow's getting a bit floppy, but as soon as it's let go, it just snaps back into place.
Wait, give me a moment here. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. As the deafening crack definitely comes, Evelyn just is like, oh, you broke my arm. You broke my arm. And she just very,
Alice just keeps the hold on it. It's like, it'll grow back, shut up.
she'll wrench her arm back as she does and just flick it with a generalized motion out of her shoulder. And you'll hear the pop as it pops back into place. And at that point, she's going to come around with the eye gouge.
Do it.
And I'm going to burn a willpower on this one because I want to see it happen.
Alice be wearing an eye patch again. Look at that. Nice. That's
2 successes. So strength is at 4, so 5.
Mm-hmm. I got my soak dice.
Oh, Jesus.
1.
Come on, once.
You know what? I'm not even going to soak that. I'm just going to storytell out that it happens, because it would be so much more awesome. The hand that Evelyn has free, the one that's not had its arm snapped, Alice is just sitting there holding Evelyn almost nonchalantly, as in, I've got the last strike in, this is my final maneuver, and Alice is getting cocky, to her own detriment. The other arm from Evelyn comes out at an absolutely inhuman angle around her body that Alice did not expect, and this is one of the perks of fleshcrafting, is you can move like a fucking octopus, and that hand will just come around, grab into the eye socket, and pluck Alice's non-white dead eye out. Yeah, I'm not giving you that one, I knew that.
I knew.
To which, I could have soaked it, be grateful, to which Alice lets go. She just clutches her eye, this one, clutches her eye, the blood pouring down her cheek, and goes, ah! Fucker! And as she looks up, the glowing red flare of her undead dead eye again bursts to life. And this time she takes a fighting stance which is more substantial, which looks less like a casual boxer stance, but more like a taekwondo cat stance. And she'll just sort of rip her knuckles together and just say, "We're gonna keep doing this till one of us is sleeping."
Evelyn's just going to look at the eye for a moment. Up to you. I was going for the other one, but this one will do just as well.
I need that back.
I can put it back if you like.
Gimme.
Evelyn will just hold it out, waiting for Alice's hand.
Alice will sneak up closer. She's expecting a trap. Absolutely expecting it. And with her back fist still clenched, she'll just reach out her jabbing hand. Eye never leaving Evelyn's until she's got the little squishy ball of eye in her palm, and then just pull it back.
Evelyn's at that point she's not going to snake in, she's not going to strike in, she's just going to move to the point where she's chest to chest with Alice. And she's moving deliberately slow at that point, and she's just going to lean up to Alice's eye socket and just try and lick the blood clean.
What?
Nothing. Just wanted to taste.
Feral. Alice will take 3 good steps back, and then just pop the eyeball back in. It flips around a couple of times and looks cross-eyed for a second or so before staring straight ahead and the nerves having reattached itself. Ah, that's scratchy. Ah.
I would wash that off before you put it back in, but that's your choice.
I like the pain.
I'm sure you do.
Reminds me I'm still alive.
Evelyn's actually going to chuckle and actually start to laugh at that one and just hold up her hand for a moment. That was actually fairly good.
Alice just sort of unclenches both her fists in a, yeah, I know, I'm fucking hilarious move. And then she'll just sort of put her hands down and go, "Come on, let me buy you another drink."
At some point, we really need to go out and find just some meat bags to pummel.
I have a better idea. If I'm really what you say you are, what I am, if I'm really what you say I am, why don't we make a few constructs? And then we'll see. We'll have a dogfight. Yours against mine. We know we can beat bitches to a pulp. What's the fun in that? It'd be like Robot Wars. You and me. What do you reckon?
I have always wanted to create a Schlachta, but never had the inspiration to.
I've never had the talent to. But I've always had the inspiration.
Where do you bed down for the evening, Alice?
My haven.
Why don't you come to mine for this evening? We can have ourselves a little slumber party, and I can show you a great many things that your sire hasn't.
That sounds amazing. I'll bring pizza. Delivery boys. But I tell you what you say is true. I need to swing past the old wood yard. That's where the deed was done. It's about as close to home as what I can think of. Unless Alice looks in the general direction of New Sarum. Unless it's going to be a lot harder than that.
Little steps first. And she'll hold out her arm the way Alice had held out hers before.
Alice will look at the crook of the arm. Fortune favours the brave. And she'll link arms with Evelyn, and the two will skip merrily off into the night, I dare say.
I do believe there we can end our scene.